Hello everyone, it is Cappy here, back in our Incremental in Roblox Studio for the third time. Today we're going to be learning how to make some gem upgrades, doing some fixes, and some quality of life changes. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alrighty, it has been a good bit. It has been about 2.5 months about there. I'm gonna put something on the screen probably. That's how long it's been. It's been a really long time. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our starter GUI to do a quick fix. So in our rebirth board UI, inside our frame, we have this little cost button. So this cost is not really needed since we already know it's going to cost us 500 cash, a minimum of 500 cash to rebirth. So let's just remove this. You can feel free to recenter or reposition this title right here, or this text right here. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but another thing we have to do is actually make this work, because if we join right now, I do believe this does not work. Yeah, we can see here this does not work at all, even though we have enough. So we see here we have an error. That's because our cost text is no longer there. So let's, if you haven't already, go into your rebirth button, open it up, open the rebirth manager script, and remove this line, local cost text. Should look like that. Delete that. Go down here. You can just remove this function, local update cost text. Just delete the function, and then scroll down. And then this orange line, update cost text, remove that line, and remove this line as well. gems.change connect update cost text. We no longer need that. So now that we have that, we need to actually make these work when we join. Now to do that, we just have to send a function to start when the game starts. When the game starts, that's all we need to do. So to do that, all we have to do is you can either do it down here at the bottom or right under the function. You can do update info, and that's all. That's all you have to do to update it when the player joins or when the game starts. So now that we've done that, we should have a working system, a working text for this. But one more thing we should do is we should add a space in quotations where it says you will receive, put a space, and then put a space, so that way the payout is spaced out between everything else. Now, if I am not mistaken, we also have to update our payout text when the game starts up. So right below the local function update payout text, just put update payout text. And let's just do that for the other two functions. Now that we've done that, let's go on to our first task, which is gem upgrades. Now actually there is one more thing I'd like to do before we go on to gem upgrades. There's one thing I forgot, which is this down here. So let's reopen our rebirth manager script. My apologies. Let's go down to our update payout text function. Let's put a space right after this little thingy colon. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But after the gems two dot thing. So now when we join, when we play our game, we can see it not only updates this text and it has its correct spacing, but we also have an updated version where this is spaced out. It's now clunked together. Now let's get on to our gem upgrades. Now the first thing we want to do to actually have gem upgrades is have a board for our gem upgrades. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this upgrade board. You can feel free to rename it whatever you'd like. I'm going to rename it to gem upgrade board. I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to rotate it. Then I'm going to move it right next to my rebirth area. I'm actually going to move it in the back over here, a little spaced out. You can see it already has its outline since that was already duplicated from this board. And now we have to actually make the UI for it. So what we can actually do for this is we can actually also duplicate our upgrade board UI in the storage UI. Just click Control D or Control C, Control V, completely up to you. If you do that option though, you're gonna have to drag it from workspace into storage UI. But either way, it does not matter. Now we just have to click on our new duplicated upgrade board UI, go into our properties, which if you don't have enabled, click on view up here, and properties on the very left, and now you should have properties open. Go into the properties search tab and look up add or name, or you can just put AD and you should find it. Now click on the upgrade board option that's already selected, click on it, then click on this board right here that we duplicated, and now you should have this frame on your new gem upgrade board. Now you can either rotate this part, which is what I'm going to do, or you can change the face of the UI. So you can go in here into the properties, change the face from like top to bottom, and now it should be back here, but I just rotated it because it's much easier and it just is more practical. But now that we've done that, let's actually get started. So let's first rename our new gem upgrade board to something like gem UPG board UI, anything you'd like, it doesn't matter. But now let's go in, open up our scrolling frame, and we don't actually need 2 of these at the moment, we're just going to make 1 for this episode. So let's just delete our cooldown upgrade. Now we just have our passive income upgrade option. Now of course we don't want any of the scripts or configurations, so we're actually going to delete this configuration. We're going to delete this purchase handler script. Now this is just a personal preference, but I don't like a white outline, I prefer a black outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my UI stroke, the contextual one. I'm going to change it from a white to black outline, and then I'm going to change the text color to white. Now of course you don't have to do this, but this is just a personal preference. But now that we've done this, let's actually decide what our first gem upgrade is going to be. Now I think I want to do a increase of max upgrades. So max upgrades boost is what we can call it. You can say increases your max upgrade amount, and then you can, let's say amount is, let's say you can purchase this 5 times. So we're just going to do X out of 5. So let's say every time you buy this, you get plus 5 max upgrades. Or actually, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so now that we've done that, we actually have to script it. So let's go into our purchase button that we already duplicated, click on the plus button, open a local script, and now let's get scripting. So let's rename it to something like just handler or purchase handler, it does not matter. But before we can actually get scripting, we have to create some new values. Because if we don't have any values, you can't really award the player what they paid for. So let's go into our leader stat script. Or we could create a new script, so let's actually do that instead so we are staying organized. So duplicate the leader stats script, name it gem upgrades, then select both gem upgrades and leader stats by holding the control button down so you can multi-select. And now group as a folder and then rename it to data stores. Now that we've done that, let's open this up and open our gem upgrades script. Now we have our local data store, which we do not want to be leader stats, or else it's going to save to the leader stats data store, which we don't want. So let's rename it to something else like gem upgrade saver. That's what I'm going to name it. You can name it whatever you'd like. Now let's just get our local, let's change this from local leader stats to local gem folder. So now we have to go to where the orange parts are, where it says leader stats, and change that to gem folder. And right here, where it says leader stats, rename that to gem folder as well. Now let's just continue to change that to leader stats, or from leader stats to gem folder. And now that we've done that, we can move on to the next part, which is changing our values. So we don't actually need a second value at the moment, so let's delete our local gems value. And we will change this orange part in a second, just let's hold on. And now let's change local cache to local max upgrades. Local max upgrades. And change it from a number value to an int value, so it cannot have a decimal, because we do not need decimals for this. And now let's remove all of the orange parts. Let's change it from cache to max upgrades. If you want to do this a faster way, you can just do Control F, then do Find Cache, click this arrow right here, open it up, and then click and in the replace box, type in max upgrades. So now if we just click this A to B, click it a few times, you should now have this. Nothing else should be orange except for these two things right here. So now, you guessed it probably, we just have to delete these two gem things right here. And if you did as I did, and you deleted the dot parent, all you have to do is right before dot parent, put max upgrades, since we want the parent of max upgrades, or where it's going to be, in the gem folder. Now, I'm actually going to rename this to gem upgrades folder. You can keep it as is if you'd like, but this is just so I'm organized, and in the future I can reference it easier, in my opinion. This will just allow me to remember it easier. So we have everything we need. Max upgrades.value is equal to 0. Correct name, correct everything. We should be good to go. But there is one more thing we need to do. Right here, we have this handler, which we do not need because we are not awarding anyone anything. So let's actually remove this right here. While true do statement, we do not need that. And now right here, local data to be saved. Change player.leader_stats to player.gem upgrades folder. Or if you'd like, you can just remove the folder from gem upgrades. I don't know why I put that there, that's my apologies. But now we should have this, and then we can also delete this gems equal player.leader_stats.gems.value thing right here. So now, if we join the game, we see our little print hello world from this handler script. But if we go into our players folder, we see gem upgrades and then max upgrades. Now you do not have to do this, I'm going to do it for you, but you can always feel free to do so. But I'm going to run a command to make sure that this is actually saving. So I'm going to change the max upgrades stat value to 1. We see here it says 1. I'm going to leave, and it seems like we got an error. Gems upgrade folder is not a valid member of player Cappy Mario 7. Now remember down here, we did do gem upgrades folder, not gem upgrades. If you kept it as gem upgrades folder, then you shouldn't have gotten an error. But just remember that this .gem upgrades, it should be the same. This should be spelled the same as up here where it says gem upgrades folder .name. So right here it says gem upgrades. It should be called gem upgrades, if that makes sense. So now if we rejoin, we run that same command, paste it in here, in the server. Now if we leave, we got no errors. We did see that our stats did save. Now we can go and play. And now let's check. Did our stats save? Yes, it did. So now that we know it saves, we can actually make it work. So before we do that, let's click on our upgrade script and drag it into our data stores. Make sure that's all good. Alright, now let's close our gem upgrades script. Close that folder if you'd like. Make it more organized. So let's get to work on this. So first we have to get our variables. So let's first get our player variable. So local player equals game.players.localPlayer. This is just referencing the player. Now what we can do, enter, local leader stats is equal to player wait for child leader stats. Make sure that this right here in the quotations is spelled exactly how you have leader stats spelt in the script. So it should be with a lowercase l. Now we can do local gems is equal to leader stats wait for child gems. Now let's click enter twice to stay organized. Local gem upgrades is equal to player wait for child gem upgrades. Or if it spells something else for you, you can do as it is. So if it's gem upgrades folder, put gem upgrades folder. But if it's just gem upgrades, put gem upgrades. I'm actually going to keep this lowercase so we just stay the same as these. Now we can do local upgrade is equal to gem upgrades wait for child. max upgrade. Now let's just make sure we spelled that correctly. Nope, it's with an S. See, this is what's good to check. So now that we have our values defined, let's move on to defining y. So we can do local button is equal to script.parent, and we can see the parent of the script, what the script is in, is the purchase button. And then we can also do local amount text or AMT text, completely up to you. It's equal to button.parent wait for child amount. We can actually copy this if you'd like. Go down, change amount to, actually that's the only variable we need for UI. So we only need local button and local amount text for our UI. So now that we've done that, let's actually get our remote event that we need so we can actually award the player. So let's go into replicated storage. Let's go into, let's just create a new folder. Name the folder gem upgrade events. Insert a remote event into that folder. Name it max upgrades. That's all you need to do. Now let's do at the very top of your script, local remote is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child gem upgrade events. Let's actually do it from local remote to local remote folder. And then below that, we can do local remote. Let's go to remote folder, wait for child, max upgrades. This is just to stay organized. That's how I'm going to do it. If you guys like to do that one as well, then feel free to copy. Alright, so now we need our local functions so we can update the text and such. So, our first text we need to update is actually our buy X cash, but we actually have to get our pricing for that. So to do that, let's just insert some new variables. So local price is equal to, let's say costs in the beginning, 5 gems. And it has been a while, so I don't know if this formula will be balanced. You can always change it yourself. And then we can do times upgrade dot value. So the max upgrades value depends on how many you own. Times 2. So for every upgrade dot value you have, it adds 2. So now that we have that we can do local max upgrades equals, let's say you can purchase it 5 times, right? Alright, and there we go. Those are our variables. So just like that, variables done. Now we can start working on our functions. So local function, let's name it update amount. Actually, no, update purchase text. Sure, update purchase text. So we can do button dot text is equal to buy, and then we can do a dot. So we can do put a space after the little 2 dots inside the quotations, then put a space on the outside. 2 dots. Do price and dot space quotation space gems, and that's all you have to do. Then below that, function to update purchase text. So now we should have something like this, but instead of saying cash, it should be gems. So when we join, we see it says buy 10 gems. Now I don't know if that is correct because, oh, I see our issue here. I accidentally did a times for the math. I meant to put a plus. You can keep it as times if you'd like. It just depends on your game's specific balancing. Alright, new function, local function, update amount text. Put your 2 full call, I don't know what they're called, I forgot, parentheses, yes. Alright, so our AI kind of got it right. Amount text dot text is equal to quotations, whoops, right here. We can do all right, we can do upgrade dot value dot space, space. Actually, no, we don't need a space for this. Out of, then space dot dot, max upgrades. So now, if we put update amount text at the bottom, when we join, we can see that it says that we have 1 out of 5 of the upgrades. And we can see that our math is correct now. We cannot purchase it, but I actually want to add something because 1 out of 5 seems a little bland. I want to put it as 1 out of 5 purchased. So all we have to do that is just go back into our handler script and then put a dot dot again, space, quotations, then put a space in the quotations so it doesn't get jumbled together. Then you can put purchase. Obviously you don't have to do this, but it looks much cleaner and it fills in the space more to me. So now we see it says 1 out of 5 purchased. Alright, let's get on to the next thing, which is actually handling the purchase of an upgrade. So we can do button dot mouse button one click. So this is when this button right here is clicked. Connect function. Enter. Make sure you have these 2 parentheses here, or else they'll become red. So if you guys want to see it, if you want to see me do it again, connect function. You want to delete this parenthesis and then put another parenthesis like that, and it should automatically do that. All right, enough yapping. If gems.value is greater than or equal to the price, then one more thing, and upgrade.value is less than max upgrades, then we can do blank. Now we're actually going to run a function to update the price. I don't know if this is required. I'm not the best scripter, but I'm just going to do it for safety precautions. So we do local function update price. We can do price is equal to 5 plus upgrade.value times 2. And we're just going to copy this function, bring it to the bottom of all functions, and do update price. We can also do bottom, we can do update purchase text. Yeah, update purchase text, so it updates the text up here. Alright, next we can do the, I'm forgetting words. We don't need to, wait, yes we do. Alright, then we can do remote fire server. It's basically just sending a signal to the server to say, hey, you owe this person stuff. And we can do else if, or we can just do else. We don't need an else if statement. We can go into our sound service. We have our sound effects. We can go to the very top. Local sound, I guess, is equal to game get service sound service wait for child wrong. Now we can do else sound play. So now if you do not have enough, it's just gonna play that wrong sound. So yeah, that's basically all you need for the client side. But we can add one more thing at the bottom to update this text when something changes. So all we have to do is upgrade get property change signal value, connect update price, and then when we update the price, it also updates the purchase text. So we don't need to add a function for that. And then we can also update the amount text as well. So let's actually do that as well. Update amount text. So now we only have to put one function. We don't have to put this once. We don't have to put one for every single function. So now if we join the game, see it says 7 out of 5. I do not hear the sound. Let me see if my volume is definitely up. I do not hear any sound, so we will have to fix that. I have 100,000 gems. Alright, this is a bit confusing. A bit confusing indeed. Oh, I see the issue. Alright, we did forget one thing. we forgot to add a color changing system. So let's add that. So at the top, click enter twice, do local function update color, do if price dot, or we just do update button because it's gonna be doing other things too. Update button. So if price, no, if gems dot value is greater than or equal to price, and upgrade dot value is less than max upgrades, then we do button dot button dot button dot I'm losing my sanity. Right. Button dot background color is equal to color3 dot new. Make it a nice green. Then we do else if gems dot value is less than price, or upgrade dot value is greater than or equal to max upgrades, then button dot background color 3 is equal to color3 dot new, and make it a red. Now we can actually go down here to our purchase text and we can do an if statement. So if gems dot value, we're just going to copy this snippet right here. So copy line 21, put it up here, put enter, then grab this snippet, button.text equal buy, copy it, delete it, and put it right in here, line 30. Then we do the same else if statement, so copy this. Or no, we can actually make a RL. Else if our gems dot value is no, let's just do else if upgrade dot value is greater than or equal to max upgrades, then button dot text is equal to max upgrades reached. So now the player will know if they've reached the max amount of upgrades. We don't need to remind them or anything like that. So now down here, let's go to our update price function. And let's do update button as well. So now if we join, we can see we do have enough. Doesn't make any errors, no errors down here, and boom. So our client side is done. Let's get on to the server side. Alrighty, so let's get into the server side of things for this upgrade purchase. So let's go into our server script service. Let's create a new folder called gem upgrade purchases. I know, pretty long name, but it's not going to matter to us. Inside that folder, let's insert a script. Name it max upgrades. I guess that's a fine name. And now let's create our first variable. So local remote folder is equal to game.replicated storage. Actually, if you still have the handler script open, just go into the handler script, go to the top where it says local remote folder, and then local remote. Copy those two lines, and then just paste them in here. So now we have our remotes, our variables, I'm sorry. If you want, you can copy them right now. They'll always be here for you. If not, let's get started. Two enters, remote, remote.onServerEvent, connect function, enter. And inside these two parentheses, we actually want to add something. I'm sure you guys remember from the last episode. If not, it's just player, so we can actually reference the player. Let's go back into our handler script. Let's copy all of this here and paste it in here, except we do not need the local player since we've already defined the player right here. So once we delete that, we have our stat variables. Now let's click enter twice again, go down here, and let's get our price and max upgrades variables. So now that we have that, we can get started. So let's go down, enter twice again. If gems.value is greater than or equal to price, and upgrade.value is less than max upgrades, then we can do gems.value is minus equal to price, which is just subtracting price from the gems.value. So let's say it's just 5, and it just takes away 5 gems. And then upgrade.value is plus equal to 1. So it just gives the plus 1 upgrade. So that is really all we have to do for our server side. And now we have pretty much completed our actual, purchase handler. So we can close both of these, and let's test it out. Now, if you are poor, unlike me, with 100k gems, then you can just watch and see if it works. So let's purchase one, and it seems like it did not work. Oh, it did work, I just didn't click away. So we can now purchase, and then when I try to purchase again, it doesn't work. But I just realized something. There is a loophole, and it allows them to purchase more than they should be allowed to. So in our purchase button, let's go handler. Let's scroll down to our button. Let's go down here to our if gems.value. Our first if statement, we can do up here button.interactable equals false, fire server, task.wait 1, button.interactable equals true. This basically just prevents it just prevents the player from clicking the button and doing this whole thing for 1 second. Because if they have an auto clicker or just click really fast, then they can just spam the upgrade and they can buy more than 5. So now that we have that check in place, let's change some stuff around. All right, I don't really want this board to be the same color as this board, so I'm just going to change it to a why is it not changing? I'm going to change it. That's not working for some reason. Oh, I see. It's because it's on the back. So what we gotta do, actually, is if you want to change it, you just have to make the scrolling frame transparency to 1. So now it's like that. And now we can go back up. We can change this to I'm gonna change it to like a nice like grayish like that. A bit different from that, but not too different. And now, last but not least, we just have to change the title from upgrades to gem upgrades. Alright, seems like we're done with the actual purchasing. So now we just have to work on this. We have to make the actual system, actual function, actual system, doesn't matter, work. So let's do that. Alright, this has been on my mind ever since like episode 2. We have to change this button. I hate this button so much. Alright, I don't want it to be the black and then white stroke. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to change the text color from black to white. And for some reason that is not working. Yes, it is. Never mind. And then let's change our contextual to black. So now we have that nice outline. Make the thickness 1.5 if you'd like. It's completely up to you. And now, let's do that for the other one, the passive income. Now please note, you do not have to do this. This is just my own personal preference. I've been doing this ever since I started working on UI and stuff. It's just completely personal preference. You do not have to do anything if you do not want to. This is your game, not my game. I'm just teaching you how to make your game. So, yeah. For some reason, that did not work as I wanted it to. And I will just have to leave it for now, I guess. Oh, never mind. Just had to make it black. Alright, enough dilly-dally. Let's get into the big stuff. Alright, open the frame for passive income. Open it up, open the purchase button, go into purchase handler, and here it is, the doom and gloom of this monstrosity. Now, what I want to do first, before we're even able to add in the gem upgrades, the gem upgrade, is we have to change how these variables work. I thought the configuration could be easy, but we're gonna have to change the way configuration works. So, let's delete this configuration folder. Actually, wait. It's not delete yet because I actually don't remember our values. So before you do it, just make new values named the same way. So local base price is equal to 10. Local increment is equal to 5. And then local max upgrades is equal to 50. And now you can delete these variables above. So configuration folder, base price, increment, max upgrades, delete those. And then delete the configuration folder. Now, the reason this video is taking so long is because I ended up messing up at the end and I had to restart this whole video. It was because of this. So this is why we're doing this. That's really all I can say because I'm not smart enough to know what the exact issue is. But now that we've done that, we can move on. So let's add in our new variables. So we can do right in the middle of local upgrades and local cache. Enter twice. Do local gem upgrades. Is equal to player with child gem upgrades. And then we do local gem upgrade boost, I guess, is equal to gem upgrades, wait for child, max upgrades, or whatever it's called for you. So now we can do a local function. So let's do local function update max upgrades. Parentheses, enter. Now we can do max upgrades is equal to 50 plus, you can do 50 plus 5, no, 50 plus, we're adding 2 every time, so 50 plus 2 times gem upgrade boost dot value. So let's say I have 1 of those upgrades, then 50 plus 2. Yeah, so that should work. Update, this script has it set for the bottom. So we're gonna go to the bottom, update max upgrades, and then we do gem upgrade boost dot change or get property change signal value connect update max upgrades. So now let's test this out. And we got an error. Local price is equal to, oh, I see. So since the old configuration folder had the dot value and this new price thing does not, we have to actually change it. So from base price dot value just to base price, same thing with increment, just remove the dot values. That's all you have to do. We actually have to do that for every single one of these. So right here, line 27, just keep it as base price, just keep it as increment, and just keep it as upgrade. And we have to keep doing that for every single one. So upgrade dot, no, not for upgrade dot value, just for max upgrades dot value. And down here in our if statements, max upgrades dot value, remove that, max upgrades value, remove that as well. Max upgrades dot value right here, line 47, remove that as well. If you get any error, just suspect that's why. And it shouldn't be hard to fix. I don't believe I'm missing anything. If I'm going too fast, you can feel free to slow it down or just re-watch. But if you find an error, just assume it's for that. Join the community server, or, you know, if you want, try and fix it yourself. Completely up to you. And we got another error. Line 24. Local price is equal to. Alright, see, this is where I messed up. Went way too fast. Now, upgrade. Since upgrade is an actual value, we have to do dot value. So add back the dot value, add back the dot value. So now, if we do this, no errors. Since we own 5, we should get a boost. And we do not get a boost. And we got an error. Alright. Yep. I know why we got the error. But for our function local update max upgrades, we need to also update our amount. So once we've done that, we also have to do an update amount thingamabob. So Now that we did that, this should all be working. So we do that. And now we see that we have 3 out of 60, which is actually correct. But now we have to fix the server side of things. So let's do that, shall we? So all we have to do really is we just have to copy these 3 variables and then copy them into here. Now we see that in our remote event, it has these. Just remove them. We don't need them. And then right down here in line 59, where it says base price, increment, max upgrades, delete that. And now we just have to do this. So now look at that. It's thingamabob. Then we also do max upgrades is equal to. And then we have to go back into our purchase handler. Now this is a lot. I do apologize. I may be going a bit too fast, but just copy line 13 and 12, which is the gem upgrades and gem upgrades boost variables. Put them in between. Then we can do max upgrades is equal to 50 plus parentheses 2 times gem upgrade boost dot value. So now that we've done that, it's not a value. So remove that and remove that. Now, if we try and purchase one, it should work. It did not work. Alright. Oh, max upgrades on pipe. See, when you change one thing in a script, it tends to change a lot of things in multiple scripts. So just keep that in mind when you do dumb things when you develop. And you're always going to run into errors when you're a developer, but this is just one of those things. But now we can purchase more. Now let's just make sure we can actually purchase up to 60. So we're going to do dot Paper Mario 7 dot leader stats dot upgrades dot passive income dot value is equal to 49. Go there, go here, memory, server, boom, 49. And we can actually purchase all the way up to 60. Max upgrades reached. Alright, cool. Now, we could do this exact same process again for our other upgrade, or we can simply just change some variables around for this. So that's what we're going to do. So, it may sound a little confusing when I just said that, but you'll get it. So, in our purchase button for our thing for the upgrade we just changed, copy that purchase handler script, close this frame, open up the cooldown upgrade frame, go into the purchase, delete their script, and copy in the script you just copied. Now, right here for our variables, our base price, our increment, our max upgrades, just copy what it says for your configuration for this upgrade. So for me, the base price is 50, increment is 17.5, let's add that, 17.5, and then the max upgrades is 15. Now for our event, our local event variable, change it from passive income, purchase passive income to purchase to cooldown, lower cooldown. Yep, there it is. And then we can do everything's the same except for this. Local upgrade is equal to cooldown. This should be on line 16. Let's just make sure my syntax or the name is correct. Yep, cooldown. Great. Now if we look through here, everything should be good to go. Yep, everything should be good. So now all we have to do is let's get our upgrade purchases, copy our passive income purchase, or no, let's just copy this whole entire syntax, close the script, go into our cooldown purchase, paste in the new one by replacing the old one. Now let's go back to our configuration, change the base price to your correct thingy, increment 17.5, and max upgrades 15. So now you should have something like that. And now the last thing you need to change is the actual local upgrade thingy. And you also have to change the local event variable at the top, change it from purchase passive income to lower cooldown. So now if we close all of this, we delete our configuration folder for the cooldown upgrade. We close all of this, and this, and this, and this, and this. We should now have a working system. Alright, that is way too much. That is way more than I ordered. So I think we messed up. More so, I think I messed up. Reopen your storage UI. Reopen your upgrade board UI. Just reopen cooldown upgrade, then go back to your purchase, go back to your purchase and your script. Right here, update max upgrades. We know the max upgrades amount is 15. And that's all you had to do. That's all I had to do. So now go back. And now we can purchase a few more. Max upgrades reached. So now that that's all working, we have officially made a working gem upgrades system. But it seems like we have one more error. I cannot rebirth for some reason. So we're actually just going to look at why I can't rebirth. I don't know where this issue came from, but we're going to find out. Alright, rebirth event. Yep. Rebirth event. Great. Ah, I see the issue. I think it's because we're firing payout and price. It's not a good practice, since hackers can easily fire remote events to the server and say, oh, the payout is 5 million gems, and it's not 5 million gems. They just hack the game. So, payout, price is equal to 100. Why do we have a price variable? Then, I don't know, really. It doesn't make sense to have a price variable. It doesn't make sense to have a price variable for the rebirth manager. But yeah, alright. Local price is equal to 500. That's how much you need to rebirth. And I think that's why I couldn't rebirth. It was not letting me because I was too poor. But yeah. Update price, no longer needed. Update price down here, no longer needed. Update price here, no longer needed. So now we have all of this, and it should all work, except for one thing, which is our color changing system. We want the color to change. So local function, update button. Let's do if price. No, if cash.value is less than price, then button.background color 3 is equal to color3.new. Make it a red. We can do else if cash.value is greater than or equal to price, then button.background color 3 is equal to color3.new, and then it's just a green. And we do update button. Then down here, copy one of these connect thingies, then rename it, change it from then paste it, then do update payout text, change that to update button. Do the same thing for a gem saw changed, change it from update payout text to update button. And now, after all this hard work, actually no, we're missing something again. Yay! Reopen your server-sided rebirth script. Remove these things. Go back to your client side. Copy this. And just close that. And then copy it into here. But we also have to update our payout accordingly. So we can just do payout is equal to this. And now, finally, we can rebirth. Well, everyone, that is how you add gem upgrades to your incremental. Thank you for watching this incremental tutorial. If you want to have some amazing models like these, if you want this amazing asset pack here, by the time you see this video, it should be live on my asset pack store for only like 25 pence or 0.25 euros. If you want to support me and you like the content, feel free to subscribe, get the asset pack, or just leave a like, comment, share with a friend. I know I'm hitting all of those boxes. It's currently 11 p.m. I'm going to edit this video. Then I'm going to take a nice sleep. Good night, everyone. Have a nice day. Goodbye.